What would happen if a man could see his own future? Imagine getting the chance to look ahead, years into the life you haven't lived yet. You could see who you become, what you achieve, and what mistakes lie ahead. But there's one big rule. No matter what you see, you cannot change anything. If you do, the consequences could be disastrous. The story begins with two best friends, Sean and Jesse. Sean is a young, struggling musician. He loves music more than anything, but his career isn't going well. He often worries, will I ever make it? What if I fail forever? One day, Jesse shares a shocking secret. A few days ago, he was contacted by a hidden group, an underground scientific agency that built a working time machine. This machine can send a person forward in time. Jesse explains that he agreed to help them test it, and he just came back from the future. Sean is stunned. Jesse says he traveled 7 years ahead to the year 2032 and stayed there for 2 full days. He saw how things would turn out, but he refuses to tell Sean anything about what he saw. Sean begs for answers. Did your life get better? What happened to us? Am I successful? But Jesse calmly says, I can't tell you. It's too dangerous. He explains that the agency made it very clear. You can go into the future, you can observe, but you must not interfere with anything. If you try to change the future or bring future knowledge back to the present, it could cause a time paradox. Events might collapse, timelines could break, and the results could be dangerous for the entire world. Sean is still curious. He wants to see his own future too. After thinking for a while, Jesse agrees to introduce Sean to the secret time travel agency. But before they go, Jesse gives him one final warning. No matter what you see, no matter how tempting it is, don't change anything. Don't talk to your future self. Don't help anyone. Don't bring back any information. Just watch, observe, and return. That's all. Now Sean was full of excitement. The idea of time travel felt like a dream coming true. Without thinking too much or asking many questions, he said yes right away. That night he went home and couldn't stop thinking about it. He watched all the videos Jesse had sent him, clips showing how the time travel machine worked, what to expect during the process, and what rules to follow. Sean watched every second carefully, his eyes wide with wonder. This time machine was created by a secret organization called D'Or, a group that worked completely hidden from the rest of the world. They had been developing this machine in secret, far away from public eyes. Why? Because if something went wrong with their invention, it could damage the space-time fabric of the entire universe. It wasn't just risky, it was dangerous on a cosmic level. That's why no one outside their lab even knew this machine existed. The organization was still in the testing phase. They were carefully sending a few people into the future just to study if moving back and forth through time would cause any harm to the timeline. So far, only one person had done it, Jesse. The next morning, Sean arrived at the headquarters of D'Or. It was hidden behind the look of a normal building. There he met the head scientist, Dr. Felicia, a serious, sharp-minded woman who would be in charge of sending Sean into the future and bringing him back safely. Before anything could begin, Dr. Felicia gave him a thick document to sign. It was a non-disclosure agreement, a promise that Sean could never speak about this secret agency or his time travel to anyone, ever. On top of that, the form clearly said, if anything goes wrong with you in the future, physically, mentally, or emotionally, you are fully responsible. We cannot help you. Sean didn't hesitate. He was too excited. Without reading the fine print, he quickly signed the agreement. Felicia then told him that, before the journey, she would run a full checkup on his body and mind to see if he was fit enough to handle the stress of time travel. Thankfully, Sean's test results came back perfect. No problems at all. Feeling more confident now, Sean asked curiously, so, how many people have you sent to the future before me? Felicia didn't reply right away. Instead, her assistant, a young woman named Jenny, quietly said, just one. You're the second person? Sean was surprised. Only Jesse? Jenny nodded. Yes, and ever since he came back, he hasn't been the same. Sean paused. He had noticed this too. Jesse had seemed different lately, distant, a bit nervous, like something was always bothering him. At first, Sean thought it was nothing, but now it felt like a clue. What had Jesse seen in the future that disturbed him so much? Sean didn't know, but soon he would. That night, Sean returned home with thoughts racing in his mind. Deep down, he was nervous. Not about the machine, not even about time travel. He was worried about his life. Would he ever make it as a musician? And more than that, there was a girl, Nicole, someone he had liked for a long time. Sweet, kind, and beautiful, but he never told her how he felt. He always thought he'd do it one day. Now Sean had a chance to go 7 years into the future, to see if his dreams came true. Did he make it in music? Did he get the girl? In the next few days, Sean began his special training. Every day he came to the secret facility where Dr. Felicia and her assistant Jenny taught him what to do, and more importantly, what not to do in the future. Dr. Felicia was very clear. You must not talk to anyone in the future. No matter what happens, you cannot stop or change any event. You are going only to observe, nothing more. And when your time is up, you'll return to the present. She added one more serious rule. You cannot bring anything back from the future. Not an object, not a message, not even a small piece of information. You are only the second person we've ever sent forward. We don't fully know what might happen if you interfere. Even a small change might create a paradox, a glitch in time that could harm the entire space-time of our universe. Sean listened carefully. He nodded. Okay, I'll just watch. I won't change anything, he promised. Then Jenny stepped in. She explained that they had now upgraded the time machine. Because of this, Sean would be able to stay in the future for 3 days. But remember, Jenny warned, after 3 days, the future timeline will start rejecting your presence. Your body will feel it. It will begin to push you back into your own time. You won't get a warning. The machine will automatically pull you back. Sean took a deep breath. He was ready. Dr. Felicia pressed a button. The time machine started glowing. With a loud humming sound, Sean stepped inside. Within seconds, a vortex of swirling light pulled him forward through time. Fast, intense, and unstoppable. Suddenly, he landed in the year 2032. Sean looked around in amazement. Everything felt real, just a little more advanced, a little more polished. He had actually made it to the future. His first thought, where do I live now? He rushed toward what he guessed was his future home. But before he reached the door, he saw something shocking, a couple fighting outside. He stopped, watched carefully. That couple was himself and Nicole. Nicole, the girl Sean liked back in the present, the one he had never confessed his feelings to, was his girlfriend in the future. And not just that, they were living together. Sean smiled for a moment. His dream had come true. He had both Nicole and, judging by the luxury car and fancy house, a successful music career too. Everything he had ever wanted. But then his smile faded. His future self was yelling at Nicole. She was angry and upset. He was getting ready to leave for a foreign concert tour, and Nicole believed he was cheating on her. "You're going without me again?" she shouted. "Don't lie! I know you're with someone else." Future Sean didn't argue. He just left, cold, distant. Past Sean, hiding behind a tree, watched with a heavy heart. He had become rich and famous, but also selfish, arrogant. He was hurting the one person he once dreamed of loving. Sean couldn't bear it. He thought, how could I become like this? And that's when he made a dangerous decision. He would break the biggest rule of time travel. Instead of returning to his own time or just watching from a distance, Sean booked a hotel room, cleaned himself up, changed his clothes, and copied his future self's style. He practiced his voice, mannerisms, everything, so no one would know he was from the past. He had a plan. Since his future self had left for the concert trip, Sean would take his place, stay in the house with Nicole for a few days and try to fix things. Maybe, just maybe, he could stop his future self from becoming such a terrible person. When he reached the house and knocked, Nicole refused to open the door at first. She was angry, heartbroken, but Sean spoke gently. "I canceled the trip. I came back for you." Nicole looked shocked. He added, "My bags are still at the airport. I'll get them later. I just needed to see you first." His words touched her. Slowly, she let him in. That night, something unbelievable happened. They sat close, talked for hours. She cried. He listened. And for the first time, Sean, the one from the past, was with the girl he had always loved. He couldn't believe it. Nicole, who barely knew him in his real time, was now in his arms, and he was living his dream life, at least on the surface. But one question remained in Sean's mind. How did it all go so wrong? He had everything: love, success, money, and still, his future self had thrown it all away. Sean made a silent promise. "I will stay here for the next few days. I will know Nicole better. I will find out what changed me, and maybe I can fix it before it's too late." That same night, Sean took Nicole out to a fancy restaurant near their home. It was one of the best places in the area. Expensive, elegant, and clearly a favorite for stars like his future self. But the evening didn't start as smoothly as Sean had hoped. As they sat down, Nicole suddenly grew cold. Her smile disappeared. "Last time we came here," she said sharply, "you met that girl, your friend, and you flirted with her right in front of me." Sean froze. What? He had no idea this had ever happened. Of course, this wasn't his memory. It was something his future self had done. Still, Nicole didn't know that. Quickly, he apologized. "I promise that won't happen again. Not this time. I'm only here for you." Nicole softened a little but sighed. "You're a big star now, Sean. Everyone wants a piece of you. But sometimes I wish you'd look at me the way you look at your music." That's when Sean began to learn something painful. As they talked more during dinner, pieces of the truth started coming out. Nicole admitted, half by accident, that she wasn't with him because of love in the beginning. When Sean became famous and rich through his music, she saw an opportunity. She followed him, not because she loved him deeply, but because she hoped he could help launch her own music career. Sean sat in silence, his heart sinking. So that was it. Nicole didn't fall in love with the old Sean, the one who was broke, struggling, and dreaming. She joined him after success, when the money, the fame, and the spotlight were already his. And maybe that's where the problems began. Maybe his future self had realized that too. Maybe that's why he stopped caring, why he began seeing other women, why he became cold. Sean sat there feeling lost. He had thought his future was perfect. Fame, love, everything. But now it all seemed built on shaky ground. Still, Sean made a choice. He decided he didn't care how things had started. He would change it. He would stay with Nicole. He would prove himself worthy of real love and try to bring real love out of her too. That night back at home, he opened up to her again. "I want to marry you," he said softly. "Let's start a real life together. Let's have a family." But instead of being happy, Nicole grew angry. "What are you talking about?" she snapped. "Marriage? Kids? I came to you because I wanted to focus on my career. You promised me you'd help me launch my music. That's why I stayed." Sean blinked. It hit him like a wave. This is not as simple as I thought. Now he saw both sides. His future self had changed, but maybe it wasn't just his fault. Nicole was scared. She had ambitions too. She had her own dreams. And when Sean stopped focusing on her, she started feeling ignored, jealous, alone. And Sean, he was trying to be someone else. He was lying, hiding, pretending. None of this was sustainable. The next morning, Sean woke up feeling strange. A sharp chill ran through him. His hands trembled slightly. His reflection in the mirror felt distant, hollow. His mind buzzed. He knew what it meant. This timeline was rejecting him. He didn't belong in 2032. At any moment, he could be pulled back into 2025. He had to be careful now. His time was running out. That evening, Sean and Nicole went to a party hosted by one of their mutual friends. There too, Sean kept up the lie. When people asked why he wasn't on his foreign tour, he simply said, "I came back early." For Nicole, fortunately, his future version's phone remained switched off, so nobody could contact the real Sean and discover the truth. The lie still held, for now. Then something unexpected happened. Nicole, smiling shyly, looked at him and said, "I've been thinking, these last 2 days, you've been different, kinder. Maybe you do love me now. And if you really want to be with me, I'm ready. I'll give up my career too. If you promise to leave music behind and just stay with me." Sean was stunned, overwhelmed. His heart flooded with joy. She finally cares. She finally wants a life with me. Not just fame or songs, but the happiness was short-lived. He remembered the truth. He didn't belong here. He was still the Sean from 2025. This future wasn't his. He had stepped into someone else's life and twisted it around. And worst of all, his future version didn't know anything about this. Would he even accept these changes? Would he even understand what had happened? Suddenly, at that same party, Sean's eyes caught someone across the room. Jesse, Sean's best friend, the one who had brought him into all of this. But Jesse looked different, tired, drunk, unshaven, unhappy. Sean went over to him and sat down. Jesse barely noticed. He had a drink in one hand and an empty stare in his eyes. That's when Sean remembered something from the past. Jesse had traveled to the future too. And ever since he returned, he had changed. He had looked haunted, like something had broken inside him. And now Sean knew why. Jesse had seen himself in the future, broken, addicted, lost. Just like Sean had now seen himself, rich, loved, and yet alone, cold, disconnected. In that moment, Sean realized, time travel doesn't show you the life you want. It shows you the truth you're not ready for. And sometimes, the truth breaks you. While at the party, Sean avoided looking at one of the waitresses. Why? Because he knew something no one else did. That waitress would become his wife in the future. This thought made him wonder, if Jesse already saw his own sad future, why doesn't he try to change it? But before Sean could think more about it, something strange happened. It had now been 3 full days since he arrived in the future. Suddenly, without warning, he was pulled back through time and returned to the year 2025, his present. But things weren't simple anymore. Sean had broken the most important rule of time travel: never interfere with future events. And now, he had changed the life of his future version. Meanwhile, In the year 2032, the original future version of Sean returned home after finishing his foreign concert tour. As soon as he stepped inside, he noticed something odd. The house was very clean. This surprised him because usually after fights, Nicole would leave everything in a mess, but now everything looked perfect. And then Nicole came in, smiling sweetly. "There you are. Where did you go after the party last night? I looked for you everywhere," she said happily. Future Sean was confused. What party? He had just returned from a foreign trip. There was no way he had been at any party the night before. He thought Nicole must be confused or drunk again, like she sometimes was. So he just ignored her and went downstairs to avoid another fight. But Nicole kept following him, acting sweet and loving. Sean thought to himself, why is she being so nice today? Last time we spoke, she was angry I was leaving for the trip. Over the next few days, things felt stranger and stranger. Nicole seemed to truly believe that Sean had changed, that he now cared more about her than his music. Then one morning, she dropped a bombshell. She told Sean she was going to quit her music career because he had asked her to, and now she was ready to marry him. Sean was shocked and furious. "I never told you to quit your career," he shouted. He had worked hard for his own career. Why should he give it all up? And why was Nicole suddenly acting like he promised her things he never said? Still upset, Sean stormed upstairs. That's when he ran into his maid. She casually mentioned that Nicole had been staying there with him for the past 3 days. "But I just got back from my trip yesterday," Sean said. And in that moment, everything clicked. Something strange had happened. He called his old friend Jesse to help confirm it. Jesse picked up and said, "Yeah, I saw you at the party a few nights ago." "What? That wasn't me. I wasn't even here," Sean said. "Wait," Jesse paused. "You think your past version, the one from 2025, time traveled here and took your place while you were gone?" Sean nodded slowly. "It makes sense now." He explained that he had also traveled into the future, back in 2025, but he never broke the rules. He only observed his life and came back without interfering. "But maybe," Sean said, "the younger me didn't follow the rules. Maybe he pretended to be me and made Nicole believe I had changed, that I would give up everything for her." Jesse tells Sean that he should explain to Nicole that all the promises made to her were actually made by his past version, not by the current him. But Sean is confused. When he traveled to the future years ago, nothing in the timeline changed. So why is it that now, when his past version arrives in the present, everything is getting affected? Shouldn't both versions of him share the same history and actions? To understand this, Sean wants to speak to the scientist behind the time travel project, Dr. Felicia. That's when Jesse reveals something shocking. The secret time travel organization was shut down 5 years ago. They had discovered that repeated time travel was warping the space-time fabric of the universe. When others found out, funding stopped, and the project was abandoned. Meanwhile, Sean and Nicole's relationship is falling apart. Nicole leaves because Sean refuses to leave his demanding career, even though he wants to. The next day, Sean finally finds Dr. Felicia at her house, but she's not the same woman he remembered from 7 years ago. Something about her has changed. Dr. Felicia then explains everything. After Sean sent a test subject into the future 7 years ago, she realized something terrifying. Every time someone travels through time and changes something, a new parallel universe is created. These new universes don't have their own energy. They borrow it from the original main universe. That means every time they travel and change history, they split off a new universe that drains energy from the original one. The more changes they make, the more universes are created, and the more energy is drained. Eventually, this could destroy not just the main universe, but all of them. That's why, to save reality, they shut the project down forever. After hearing everything, Sean finally confesses something to Dr. Felicia. A few days ago, his 7 years younger self suddenly arrived, sent from the past by Dr. Felicia in 2025. But instead of just observing the future, like he was supposed to, this past Sean secretly took the place of his future self and started living with Nicole. Dr. Felicia immediately understands what went wrong. She tells Sean that this is exactly why everything is falling apart. He had broken the rule, never interfere. In the original timeline, Sean had traveled to the future, but didn't touch anything. He only watched. That timeline remained stable. But in this second version, Sean acted. He replaced his future self. And that one small decision created a new parallel universe, one that now runs alongside the main one, both feeding off the same limited energy source. According to Dr. Felicia, everything in these two timelines is identical, except for that one choice Sean made. But there's a catch. If nothing is done, both timelines will slowly collapse. The energy holding them together will be stretched too thin. Both universes, both versions of reality, will die. There's only one way to stop it. Dr. Felicia tells him, if you, the current Sean, choose to die, the split will be undone. The two timelines will collapse back into one. The world will be saved. Sean realizes she's right and that he has no other way. So before taking that final step, Sean records a message for his younger self. In it, he explains everything, how he became different over time, how even small choices led him down a darker, more broken path. He begs his younger self to never make the same mistake, to never time travel again, to live his life fully in the present. He says if you truly love Nicole, meet her before the fame, before everything changes. And if she still loves you then, only then, marry her. With that, Sean ends the recording. And then he ends his life. And just like that, the two broken timelines collapse into one. Now in 2025, the original Sean, who hasn't yet become famous, who hasn't made those life-altering choices, goes to meet Nicole. We don't know if they'll end up together this time, but maybe, just maybe, this time, they won't be unhappy. And somewhere, in that quiet reunion of timelines, the world is saved. Time is whole again. And with that, the movie ends. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful time travel stories. Thank you for watching.